Hi everyone. So now we are discussing finite automata. So this is the most interesting concept in entire compilers and it's a base. So please listen to these sessions very carefully because if you don't understand this, you won't understand anything of the compilers. So it's the most important part in the entire compilers. So it's very interesting also. So please listen to it carefully. So finite automata. What exactly is that? So finite automata is a recognizer for a language. What is a language? Remember in the previous sessions I had explained the three important terms. One was alphabet. What is alphabet? It's a finite set of symbols. I repeat, alphabet was finite set of symbols. What was the superset of alphabet? Strings. What was a string? It was a sequence of symbols derived from alphabet. String was sequence of symbols derived from alphabet. And what was the superset of strings? Language. Language was set of strings derived from alphabet. Language was set of strings derived from alphabet. So at the lowest level was the alphabet, which was finite set of symbols. Its superset was strings, which was sequence of symbols making up a string. Its superset was a language, which was set of strings derived from alphabet. So language was set of strings derived from alphabet. Correct? So finite automata is a recognizer for a language. I repeat, it's a recognizer for a language and it's a program that takes as input a string and it answers yes if that string is a part of a language. It answers no if that string that you have given is not part of a language. Simple. Finite automata answers yes if the string that you have given, input string that you have given, belongs to the language. It answers no if the input string that you have given does not belong to the language. So it answers yes or no. It answers yes if the input string belongs to language. It answers no if input string does not belong to language. Clear? So that's what a finite automata is. Now finite automata are of two types. Non-deterministic finite automata. Name itself indicates. What do you mean by non-deterministic? It's not deterministic. At a particular state, at a particular input symbol, it can go to more than one state. That's why it is non-deterministic. Can you all guess what is the second type of finite automata? Deterministic. There are two types of finite automata. Non-deterministic finite automata and deterministic finite automata. In deterministic finite automata, each state on a particular input symbol goes to only one state, max one state. That means it's determined, it's deterministic. In a particular state on a particular input symbol, I exactly know where it will go. That's why it is deterministic. In non-deterministic, for a particular state on the particular input symbol, I cannot give 100% guarantee that it will go to a particular state. Correct? Because it's non-deterministic. On a particular state, on a particular input symbol, it can go to many states. That's why I can't tell you which one of those many states it will go to when you receive a particular input symbol. But in deterministic finite automata, one state on a particular input symbol can go to maximum one other state. So I know definitely if a particular input symbol is encountered when the machine is in particular state, I know where exactly it will go next. Right? So now this non-deterministic finite automata and finite automata in general is made up of these components. What are these components? It consists of set of states. Remember in my previous session I had explained to you all a transition diagram for relational operator token, it had 8 states, right? So that transition diagram is nothing but finite automata. The transition diagram itself is a finite automata. So finite automata consists of 5 different components. What are those? The set of states, which is represented by circles. It contains set of input symbols. Input symbols are the ones which I write on top of the arc or the edges. So I have a set of input symbols. Next is a transition move, that is when a particular state, when the machine is in particular state and if a particular input symbol comes in, where exactly I need to move, to which state I need to move, that is defined in transition function move. Okay, if the machine is in particular state, on getting particular input symbol, move function tells you which state I need to go to next. Next component is the start state. So state of the transition diagram or state of the automata which has arcs coming from nowhere is a starting state. So in this example 0 is the starting state. Last component is set of accepting or final states. Accepting state and final state is one and the same thing. Set of accepting or final states. Whichever states which are marked with double circles are final states. That means your automata is landed up in final state and you are ready to go. Your input has been processed. A particular token has been identified. That means it's a final state. You can't stop automata in any state other than final state. Only when the automata reaches the final state you are done. And you can declare which token you have found out. Clear? So I'll just repeat what are the important components of automata. First is set of states. So all these circles are states. Next is set of input symbols. So in this example A and B are input symbols. Next is transition move. Transition function move. So for example, when you are in state 1 and if input symbol is B, you go to state 2. And this is defined in move function. I repeat, when the machine is in state 1 and if the input symbol B is coming, you go to state 2. And this particular transition function is what a move is. Next is the start state. So any state which gets arc from nowhere coming in is called a start state, which is S0. And finally, it's set of accepting states. All states which are marked with double circles are accepting states. So only when the machine reaches an accepting state, you can return a token. Okay. So here is the example that I will explain to you all. The regular expression which is given to me is A or B bracket asterisk. What it means? You repeat this whatever is in the bracket 0 or more times. That means you can repeat whatever is in the bracket 0 or more times. And what's in the bracket? A or B. That means you can repeat the combination of A or B 0 or more times. After you repeat A or B 0 or more times, you concatenate to that ABB. I repeat, after you repeat A or B 0 or more times, to that you concatenate ABB. Okay, so that's the input regular expression. So now let's draw non-deterministic finite automata for that. I have a starting state which is a 0. Okay, it says A or B 0 or more times. So this is a way how to draw that. A or B 0 or more times. That means if this A or B is repeated 0 times, that means it is as good as saying this is not there at all. In that case, what will be the input string? ABB only, right? If A or B is repeated 0 times, that means this is not there at all. What will be only there is ABB. So from 0, you mark A B and B, and you go to the final state. So mark this 3 as a final state by putting it in double circles. Okay. So did you all understand this? If I repeat A or B 0 times, that means what I am going to get is A, B, B. So from starting state you mark A, B, B, and that's it. This is the final state. What if this A or B comes one a time? So what will be the string? It's going to be A or B, one of them, followed by A, B, B. So I go to the same state, A or B followed by A, B, B. Okay, because I'm not sure whether the input is going to be A or B. That's why it is OR. So for this particular arc, I am writing A comma B. That means it is A or B. Okay, so if it is A or B, go to the same state. The reason I go to the same state, because if A or B is repeated 0 times, then this won't be executed. Then I directly go to A, B, B, which is a concatenation. And this A or B, if it can repeat 0 or more times. So if it is 0 time, this won't be executed at all. It's going to be A, B, B. If it is 1 time, A or B will be executed. If it is 2 times, it will be repeated 2 times. If it is 3 times, it will be repeated 3 times, and so on. So A or B can repeat either 0 time or any number of times. So it will still remain in the same state. So A or B 0 or more times followed by A, B, B. Okay, and this is a transition table for this diagram. So I have a state here, I have an input symbol. So now let's see how to construct this transition diagram. If you are in state 0 and if the input symbol is A, where exactly can it go? So if the machine is in state 0 and if an input symbol A is encountered, it will go to 0 or it can also go to 1. Right? If the machine is in state 0 and if A is the next input symbol, it can either go to 0 or it can go to 1. That's why it is 0, 1. When machine is in state 0 and if input character is B, it will go to 0. That's why when machine is in state 0, input character is B, I go to state 0 itself. Next is state 1. So for state 1, if input character is A, is there an arc defined for A coming out from here? No. So when machine is in state 1 and if input character is A, I don't go anywhere. But if machine is in state 1 and input character is B, go to state 2. That's why machine state 1 on input character B, go to state 2. Now let's go to state 2. If machine is in state 2 and if input character is A, is there arc defined? No. That's why when machine is in state 2 and input character is A, I don't go anywhere. But if machine is in state 2 and input character is B, I go to state 3. That's why machine state 2 on B goes to state 3. Simple. So I'll explain this again since this is the most important concept in this subject. So this is a finite automata which consists of states and symbols. Okay. So the regular expression that was given to us is repeat A or B 0 or more times followed by ABB. So if this is repeated 0 times, what remains is ABB. That's why from start state on A, B, B, I am going to final state. If this is repeated n times, I am marking an arc from here to here itself. So that if A or B is not repeated or it is repeated 0 times, then I directly go with ABB. But if it is repeated 1 or more times, let's be in the same state. You can repeat A or B any number of times and then follow it by ABB. Okay. Now this is a transition diagram for this particular finite automata. If machine is in state 0, on input symbol A, it goes to 0 and it goes to 1. That's why I mark 0, 1. And now if you just notice this carefully, machine in state 0 on input symbol A goes to 2 different states. That's why it is non-deterministic. It's non-deterministic because machine in state 0 on input A can go to 2 different states. I'm not able to tell you which one of the state it will go. Definitely. That's why it is non-deterministic. So machine in state 0 on B will go to 0. That's why 0 on B goes to 0. Machine in state 1 on A doesn't go anywhere, but on B it goes to 2. That's why 1 on B it goes to 2. Machine in state 2 on A doesn't go anywhere, but on B it goes to 3. That's why state 2 on B goes to 3. Clear? So I had mentioned that finite automata are of two types. Non-deterministic, because on a particular state, on a particular input symbol, I am not able to decide which state it will go, which state it will go. It will go to a set of states, but I am not able to tell you which one of the state from those set of states it will go. And second category is deterministic. Deterministic means on a particular state, on a particular input symbol, I am 100% sure that it will go to a particular state. That's why in deterministic finite automata, state on an input can go to max one another state. State on an input symbol can go to max one another state. So deterministic finite automata, its characteristics are no state in a finite automata needs to have a E transition. E transition is an epsilon transition. That means even if no input character is encountered, using epsilon transition it can go to the next state. E transition is an epsilon transition. That means when a machine is in a particular state and there is an epsilon transition from that state to another state, so even if there is no input character right now, that machine can go from that state on epsilon transition to another state. Epsilon transition meaning nothing. So if there is a state on epsilon transition goes to another state, that means machine whenever it's in that state without any input character, it can go to the next state, which is connected by epsilon. Okay. Next characteristic of, so in deterministic everything is definite, 100% sure. That's why you can't have epsilon transition. Okay. The second characteristics of deterministic finite automata is for each state S and input symbol A, there is at most one edge labeled A leaving S. In other words, you can go to maximum one other state when the machine is in particular state and a particular input symbol is hit. So machine on a particular state on a particular input symbol can go to maximum one another state. Okay. So now we are going to learn how to convert non-deterministic finite automata, which is NFA, to DFA. DFA means deterministic finite automata. These are just I've used acronyms here. NFA is non-deterministic finite automata. DFA is deterministic finite automata. So I'm going to explain to you all how to convert NFA to DFA. How to convert non-deterministic finite automata to deterministic finite automata. Let's see how to do that. It's very interesting. So the example that is given to us, example regular expression that is given to us for this use case is, can you read this out? A or B repeated 0 or more times followed by ABB. I repeat, A or B repeated 0 or more times followed by ABB. So let's construct NFA for that first. I am in the start state. So A or B repeated 0 or more times followed by ABB. So this is a non-deterministic finite automata. Why? Because state 0 on input symbol A can go to either 0 or it can go either to one state. State 0 on input symbol small a can either go to 0 itself or it can go to 1. So state on a particular input symbol here is going to more than one other state. It is going to more than one state in short. Since it is going to more than one state, it's non-deterministic finite automata. And in non-deterministic finite automata, it should not be that all states on a particular input symbol have to go to more than one state. Nothing like that. Even if one state in the entire diagram on a particular input symbol goes to more than one other state, then it's a NFA. I repeat, in the entire diagram, even if one state goes on a particular input symbol to more than one state, and the entire diagram is considered as NFA. So in this diagram, only this one state on particular input symbol A goes to more than one state. That's why it is non-deterministic. Entire diagram is non-deterministic. Clear? So we have a non-deterministic finite automata drawn here. Now let's understand how to convert this NFA to a DFA. So the first rule of this conversion is start state of the DFA is equal to start state of the NFA. First rule of the conversion is start state of the DFA is equal to start state of the NFA. So in this diagram, which is the start state? 0. So start state of your target DFA is again 0. Clear? Now we need to follow the following steps to convert your NFA to DFA. So you compute delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon. What is 0? 0 is the start state of NFA and start state of DFA. So delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon. So delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon is 0. So delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon is always 0. Okay, so delta asterisk of anything comma epsilon is always that thing. So delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon is 0. Now we have to find out the delta asterisk of 0 on input character A. So delta asterisk of 0 comma A is equal to, now this is the formula of it. So delta asterisk of 0 comma A is equal to delta of delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon comma A. That means this A, you can imagine that as, what is epsilon? Epsilon is as good as nothing, right? So A, you can imagine that it is actually epsilon A. You can imagine this A as epsilon A. So I am splitting that epsilon A into two parts, epsilon and A. So I am grouping that epsilon with 0 here, and whatever A which is a remainder, I am writing it on the right hand side. So delta asterisk of 0 comma A is equal to delta of delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon comma A. What is delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon? 0. So just substitute delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon with a 0. So I have substituted it here as a 0. Now what is delta? Delta is a transition function. Okay. What is the delta of 0 comma A? Let's go to the diagram. Delta of 0 comma A is 0 and 1. So I am writing 0 comma 1 in brackets here. So delta of 0 comma A is 0 and 1. That's why I write 0, 1. Next is I have to compute delta asterisk of 0 on B. For each state, I have to compute each state that I get here. I have to compute it on all the input symbols. Okay. So initially I got a 0. So I compute delta asterisk of 0 on A and 0 on B. So delta asterisk of 0 on B is what? Similar way. It is delta of delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon comma B. Exactly the same the way I did it for A. Imagine A was epsilon A. So I moved epsilon with 0 and I kept A outside. Similarly, imagine this is epsilon B. So delta asterisk of 0 comma B is equal to delta of delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon comma B. Exactly same as this. Now what is delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon? 0. So substitute this with a 0. What is delta of 0 comma B? Let's go to the diagram. Delta is, you have to go to the diagram. Okay, so delta of 0 comma b is 0. 0 on state 0 on b goes to 0. So delta of 0 comma b is 0. Okay, so now from the current computation, what are the states of DFA that I have found out? Start state of your DFA, that is the target automata, is start state of NFA, so 0. So now I had to compute delta asterisk of 0 comma a and delta asterisk of 0 comma b, which I have done. Is there any other new states that you all found out while computing this? I found out 0 here, so I computed delta asterisk of 0 comma a and I computed delta asterisk of 0 comma b, because I am supposed to calculate delta asterisk of that state on all the input symbols in my diagram. So what are the input symbols in your diagram? A and b are all possible input symbols in your diagram, right? So I computed delta asterisk of 0 comma a and I computed delta asterisk of 0 comma b. So while computing delta asterisk of 0 comma a and 0 comma b, did I find any new state? Yes, I found a new state which is 0 comma 1. So my next task is to find out delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on a and delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on b. So we need to compute delta asterisk of all new states that I get while solving the problem on each of the input symbols. Okay, so now while computing delta asterisk of 0 comma a and delta asterisk of 0 comma b, 0 comma 1 is a new state that I found. So let's compute for that. Delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on a, this is equal to delta of 0 comma a union delta of 0 comma 1 comma a, sorry. So it is delta of 0 comma a union delta of 1 comma a. How did I directly write this? Because this is delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 comma a is actually equal to delta asterisk of 0 comma a union delta asterisk of 1 comma a. Okay, because it is actually delta asterisk of 0 comma a union delta asterisk of 1 comma a, but delta asterisk of 0 comma a is internally equal to delta of 0 comma a, because I separate out epsilon from it, right? That's why I directly have written that here, delta of 0 comma a and delta of 1 comma a. Okay, well, delta asterisk of 0 comma a, when there is only one character, we know that it is exactly same as delta of 0 comma a, because there is delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon is 0 itself. Okay, so using this particular logic, I have directly written here a delta. So it is delta of 0 comma a union delta of 1 comma a. Suppose I had written this as delta asterisk of 0 comma a. Delta asterisk of 0 comma a is equal to delta of delta asterisk 0 comma epsilon comma a, which boils down to delta of 0 comma a. So instead of taking that long cut, directly I wrote delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 comma a is equal to delta of 0 comma a union delta of 1 comma a. So what is delta of 0 comma a? Delta of 0 comma a is 0 comma 1, that I have written here. Union, what is delta of 1 comma a? 1 comma a is not defined, so nothing. So answer after this union is 0 comma 1 again. Clear? So I have computed delta asterisk of 0 comma 1, that's a new state that I found out on A. So let's compute delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on B. So delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on B is equal to delta of 0 on B union delta of 1 on B. So what is delta of 0 on B? So 0 on B goes to 0. So write that 0 here. Okay. So delta of 0 comma b is 0. So I wrote 0 here. Union delta of 1 on b. So delta of 1 on b is 2. So write that 2 here. Okay. So now I have computed delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on a I have computed delta asterisk of 0, 1 on B. Is there any new state that you have found out while computing that? Yes, 0, 2 is the new state found out. So now our next task is to compute delta asterisk on 0, 2 on A and 0, 2 on B. So delta asterisk of 0, 2 on A and 0, 2 on B is the next step. So what is delta asterisk of 0, 2 on A? It is delta of 0 on A union delta of 2 on A. Simple. So what is delta of 0 on A? Delta of 0 on A is 0, 1. So just write that first. Delta of 0, A is 0, 1. And what is delta of 2 on A? Delta of 2 on A is not defined. So nothing. So delta asterisk of 0, 2 on A is 0, 1 only. What is delta asterisk of 0, 2 on B? It is delta of 0, B union delta of 2, B. Simple. Now what is delta of 0, B? 0, B is 0. So just write that first. I have written. And what is delta of 2, B? 2, B goes to 3. So just write 3 here. So I have computed delta asterisk of 0, 2 on A and B. So while computing any new state you found out? Yes, I found out 0, 3. Whose delta asterisk I have not yet computed. So compute delta asterisk of 0, 3 on A and 0, 3 on B. So what is delta asterisk of 0, 3 on A? It is equal to delta of 0, A union delta of 3, A. What is delta of 0 on A? Goes to 0 and 1. So just write that first. What is union? What is delta of 3 on A? 3 on A is not going anywhere. So that is the end of it. Now what is 0, 3 on B? It is delta of 0 on B union 3 on B. What is 0 on B? It goes to 0 union. What 3 on B is? 3 on B is not defined anywhere. So nothing. So is there any other new state you found out while computing delta asterisk of 0, 3 on A and B? No. So if you just see what are the unique states that you have found out while computing delta asterisk? First is 0, because start state of your DFA is equal to start state of NFA. That is my starting point, right? So then I had to compute delta asterisk of all new states that I get while computing these calculations. So delta asterisk of 0, A and 0, B was my next step. So delta asterisk of 0 on A and B I found out. Is there any other new state I found out? 0 is already found out. 0, 1 is a new state. Since 0, 1 is a new state, my next step was to compute delta asterisk of 0, 1 on A and 0, 1 on B. So I did that here. Did you find any other new state? Yes, 0, 2 was a new state found out while computing these calculations. So my next task was to compute delta asterisk of 0, 2 on A and 0, 2 on B. Did we find new state? Yes, 0, 3 was a new state. So compute delta asterisk of 0, 3 on A and 0, 3 on B. Any other new state? No, because 0 and 0, 1 were already found on top. So now no other new states are remaining whose delta asterisk I have to compute. So that completes the conversion. Now you have to simply mark the states. So start state of your DFA is start state of NFA. So 0. So mark that first 0 state here. Any other new states you found out? Yeah, 0, 1 was a new state. So my 0, 1 is the next state in my DFA. 0 is already marked. 0, 1 is marked. 0, 2 is a new state. So just draw it. 0, 1 is already drawn. 0, 3 is a new state. Just draw it. 0, 1 is already drawn. 0 is also already drawn. Great. So all the 4 states that I found out while computation, I have marked it here. So 0 is one state. 0, 1 is another state. 0, 2 is state number 3. 0, 3 is state number 4. So these are all different unique states that I found out. Now let's ask to it. Start state of DFA is equal to start state of NFA. So 0 is my start state. So I am marking it with the arrow here. So delta asterisk of 0, A goes to 0 and 1. So on A it goes to 0, 1. 0 on B goes to 0. So 0 on B goes to 0. 0 comma 1 on A goes to 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 1 on A goes to 0 comma 1. 0 comma 1 on B goes to 0 comma 2. So 0 comma 1 on B goes to 0 comma 2. 0 comma 2 on A goes to 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 2 on A goes to 0 comma 1. 0 comma 2 on B goes to 0 comma 3. So 0 comma 2 on B goes to 0 comma 3. 0 comma 3 on A goes to 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 3 on A goes to 0 comma 1. And 0 comma 3 on B goes to 0. So 0 comma 3 on B goes to 0. That's it. What is remaining now? To mark the final state. I have marked the initial state. I have drawn all the states. I have marked the arcs as per the calculations. What's remaining is the final state. So all the states of the resulting DFA which contains at least one final state of the NFA are final states of DFA. Simple. All the states of the DFA which contains at least one of the final state of your NFA are final states of DFA. So which are final states of your NFA? 3. So 3 is the final state of your NFA. So all these states of your DFA which contains 3 are final states of your DFA. So which are the states which contains 3? Okay, this is the only one state which contains 3 in it. So this is the final state of your resulting DFA. Simple. So all the states of your DFA which contain at least one final state of your NFA are final states of your DFA. So final state of your NFA is 3. So any state of your DFA which contains 3 in it becomes the final state of DFA. Since this state of your DFA contains 3 in it, this becomes my final state. That's why I marked it with 2 circles. Clear? So this is how to convert a NFA to a DFA. So I'll again explain to you all NFA to DFA conversion. So this is the NFA that I had constructed from the regular expression. This is the NFA because state 0 on A goes to 0 and 1. So it goes to more than one state. That's why it is non-deterministic finite automata. So I have to convert this into a DFA which is deterministic. So state on a particular input can go to max one state. So I have to convert this. So it's very simple. The rule number 1 says start state of your DFA is equal to start state of your NFA. What is the start state of your NFA? 0. So start state of your DFA is also equal to 0. So how many states of DFA do I have right now? Only one state. Which is that? 0. Correct? How many states of DFA do I have at this point? Only one state of DFA I have found out. Which is that? 0. Now since this is the only one state that I have found out, my task is to compute delta asterisk of that state on all the input symbols in your NFA. So what are the different input symbols in your NFA? Input symbols in your NFA are A and B. You have to just see all the arcs inside this diagram and just note them down. So A and B are the only input symbols that I can see in my diagram. So I have to compute delta asterisk of 0 comma A and delta asterisk of 0 comma B. So remember, delta asterisk of any state on epsilon is that state itself. Delta asterisk of any state on a epsilon is that state itself. So delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon is 0 itself. Okay. So let's start computation. I need to compute delta asterisk of 0 on A and 0 on B. So what is delta asterisk of 0 on A? It is delta of delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon comma A. And what is delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon? 0. So just substitute 0 here. And what is delta of 0 on A? You have to go to the diagram. delta of 0 comma a, delta is for the source, delta asterisk is for target. Please remember that. Delta is for source, delta asterisk is for target. So delta of 0 comma a, so you have to come to this diagram. Delta of 0 comma a is 0 and 1, because 0 on a goes to two different states. So 0 on a goes to 0 and 1. So delta of 0 comma a is 0 comma 1. Next step is compute delta asterisk of 0 comma b, which is equal to delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon comma b. But delta asterisk of 0 comma epsilon is 0. So substitute 0 here. What is delta of 0 comma b? Delta of 0 comma b is 0. Just write 0 here. So I have computed delta asterisk of 0 comma a and 0 comma b. While computing that, did I find any new state for a DFA? Yes, we found 0 comma 1. So 0 was already found out. So 0 comma 1 is a new state that I found out while calculations. So 0 comma 1 is a new state of the DFA. Now we have to compute delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on A and 0 comma 1 on B. So let's compute that. Delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on A is equal to delta of 0 comma A union delta of 1 comma A. What is delta of 0 comma A? 0 and 1. So just write that first. What is delta of 1 comma A? 1 comma A is nowhere defined, so nothing. So delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on A is equal to 0 comma 1. What is delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on B? It is equal to delta of 0 comma B union delta of 1 comma B. What is delta of 0 comma B? 0. Just write it first. What is delta of 1 comma B? Goes to 2. So just write 2 here. Okay. So I have computed delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 on A and 0 comma 1 on B. Any new state you found out till now? Yes. 0 comma 2 is the new state that I found out. So till now, how many states of DFA do I have? 3 states. Which are those? 0, 0 comma 1 and 0 comma 2, which I just found out. So now what is my next task? To compute delta asterisk of 0 comma 2 on A and 0 comma 2 on B. So that I need to compute now. What is the answer to this? Delta asterisk of 0 comma 2 on A is equal to delta of 0 on A union delta of 2 on A. What is delta of 0 on A? 0 comma 1. So write it first. And what is delta of 2 on A? Delta of 2 on A is not defined. So 0 comma 1 is the answer for this. Next is we need to compute delta asterisk of 0 comma 2 on B, which is delta of 0 comma B union delta of 2 comma B. Delta of 0 comma B is 0. So just write down 0. Delta of 2 comma B is 3. So 3. So I have computed delta asterisk of 0 comma 2 on A and B. Any new state you found out? Yes, 0 comma 3. So I have to compute delta asterisk of 0 comma 3 on A and 0 comma 3 on B, which is equal to delta of 0 comma A union 3 on A. What is delta of 0 on A? 0 comma 1. What is delta of 3 on A? Not defined. So that is the answer. What is delta asterisk of 0 comma 3 on B? It is delta of 0 on B union 3 on B. What is delta of 0 on B? Goes to 0. Write it first. What is delta of 3 on B? Not defined. So 0 itself. Any other new state you found out for DFA? No, right? So for all these states of the DFA that I found out while computation, I have computed delta asterisk of all those states on all the input symbols. Correct? So now let's draw them. So 0 is one state, next is 0 comma 1, next is 0 comma 2, next is 0 comma 3. Now just draw the arcs. Delta asterisk of 0 comma A goes to 0 comma 1. So this on A goes to 0 comma 1. Delta asterisk of 0 comma B goes to 0. So on B it goes to 0. Delta asterisk of 0 comma 1 state on A goes to 0 comma 1. So on A it goes to itself. 0 comma 1 on B goes to 0 comma 2. 0 comma 2 on A goes to 0 comma 1. 0 comma 2 on B goes to 0 comma 3. 0 comma 3 state on A goes to 0 comma 1 and 0 comma 3 on B goes to 0. Simple. What's remaining is marking starting state. 0 is the starting state as per the rule number 1. And all the states of your DFA which contains at least one state of your NFA are final states of your DFA. So, which is the final state of your NFA? 3. So, all the states over here which contains 3 are final states of your DFA. So, 3 is the final state of your DFA. Just mark it with a double circle. That's it. So, we have learned how to convert NFA to DFA. Right? So we'll learn other conversion process of other different automatas in my next session on compilers. Thank you.